On today's episode of WatchJRGo, we are back with my 2010 Audi A4 I just bought. And today, we're gonna try to figure out what went wrong. What is going on, guys? I'm WatchJRGo, and like I said, we're back with my 2010 A4 I just picked up for just $1,300. So it was dirt cheap. It actually looks relatively current, which is good. And it's like, we talked about this a lot, even the comments confirmed, this is technically like a luxury car because it's an upmarket VW Jetta, but it's just not much of a luxury car. It has no options. So, it's pretty basic, but it does have a 2-liter turbo and it might be kind of fun. And we're gonna find out just how much fun it is once we pop the hood, figure out what's up with the engine, get it fixed and take it for a drive. So I don't think we're gonna get all the way to driving this thing today, maybe not even to fixing it yet. I did order some parts, a timing set, just because it's really, really cheap, unbelievably cheap. This engine is in like 50 cars. The list of compatibility for the timing set is mind-blowing. I was not expecting that when I saw it. So, timing set should be here pretty soon. Even if that's not the problem, I figure we might as well get in there and do it because everybody's telling me it takes 1 hour to get done. But today, let's figure out if it's just timing or what it really is. So we're gonna do some compression tests. We're gonna stick some cameras down in the spark plug holes. We're gonna figure out if we bent any valves, if the damage is catastrophic, just how much work needs to be done to make this thing live again. And hopefully it's not much. If it's truly timing, this will be amazing. If it's more than that, it'll be a lot less amazing, but we'll probably get her done. I hit 400,000 subscribers. Huge thank you to all of you guys for making that happen, subscribing, you know, joining along with us as we work on everything on the planet, from minis to Audi A4s to houses to this shop. And we've gotten a lot done this year, and hopefully soon all of this will be coming together as an even more finished product. I'm very excited about everything that's coming up. But again, I just wanted to give a huge thank you to all of you. Many of you were asking what I'm gonna do for 400,000 subscribers in the comments. I don't really have a plan. The one thing I do wanna do is give a huge shout out to all the channel members, and it's a quick one, don't worry. So Nathan Does, Kevin Hill, US Navy, Dave Arthur, Jess Fiorelli, Pavel Ruger, Steve Basson, and OG on the channel. You guys have heard me mention him before. We've worked on plenty of Audi projects before, and his comments are always the ones that get pinned on Audi projects because as soon as I bought this, he already was like, here's all the problems, here's what you have to do to fix them. He knows Audis inside and out, so huge thank you to Steve, Reggie Black, Hayden Brighton, Michelle Bakken, and Jason Sutherland. That's all the channel members right now. Huge thank you to you guys as well because your monthly subscription definitely helps pay for things around the shop. It just helps in general. So huge thank you to you guys. Huge thank you to everyone on Patreon, even though there's not really, I think there's only 1 or 2 people left over there because for the most part, I think people have moved over to the YouTube channel memberships because Patreon's just kind of disappeared over the years. But thank you to all of you. A lot of you have been around for a long time over there too, and huge thank you to all of you guys that watch the videos, are subscribed. It really helps the channel out. So I just wanted to give a big heartfelt thank you, and we can't do this without you because we couldn't. I wouldn't be doing anything without you guys. So thanks again. All right, we had the battery on the charger for a good long time, which means if I can find the key, she should crank happily today. No more low battery warning. You guys hear it? It tried to fire right there. So that's always a good sign. There was a little bit of a burble where it tried to find its footing, which does, of course, make me think it's timing. I don't think it's fuel this time. A bunch of people wanted me to check the fuel. I just don't, it's so rare. I mean, it happens, but it's rare. So let's start with getting this thing backed up into the lift bay a little bit here and get under the hood and start digging around. All right, we got the hood open, and unfortunately I haven't bought a hood strut yet. I forgot it was bad, so we are rocking the vice grips right there. But it's time to get the cover off of this engine. Oh, it's one oily cover, that is nasty. Get the coils out of here. Oh, look at that, we've got, of course, I mean, they're always hot, they're always broken. This is pretty standard stuff, but It is unfortunate when you jump in and see all the plastic broken. I mean, all of the plastic broken on the coil pack connectors. So the bonus is it's easy to get them out. Those connectors are looking rough. All right, this one still has partial lock, and this one still has its entire lock on it, which is interesting. I'll have to very carefully take that one apart. But this one here should just wiggle off just like the last one. Well, there's no oil down in the well, so that's something. It took a lot of delicate surgery to get these out without breaking any more of the connector sides, connector housings off there, but we got it done. Coils are out. It's nice that the wells aren't completely full of oil, like I said. And Hoovy just stopped by too, and it was pretty funny. He said, this is one of the few examples of a base model that was the worst version of a car you could buy. I was like, yeah, that is true, huh? It's not very good. But I'm still excited to drive this thing. I still want to see what's going on. Obviously, everyone in the comments has been bringing up all the issues with this, timing chains, PCV failures, the oil rings getting stuck, just all of the insane amounts of work you have to do to try to solve the problems with the 2.0T. But at the end of the day, it's not that bad to work on, so I'm giving it some credit because it's a 4-cylinder. I give a lot of credit to 4 cylinders with coil on plug. It's the best combo there ever was as far as I'm concerned. But now that we got the coils out, it's time to pull some spark plugs and take a look down in 4 holes. Wow, that's black. They're iridiums, but the blackest plugs I've ever seen in my whole life. A little oily and black. Oop, missed it. Didn't get it unscrewed all the way. There we go. Again, a little bit better burn on that plug. Actually looks kind of okay. And another terrible looking plug, jet black. Since the camera is the easiest tool to use, let's just start looking down inside the cylinders here. If I can make it in the spark plug hole, it doesn't want to go in there. Wow, the piston actually looks relatively clean, and I'm not seeing a lot of crushy witness marks, unless those clean spots on the piston are crushy witness marks. It's possible. It's possible. Let's take a look at the side camera here. The valves don't have any like marks around the edges of them, and that's where I'd expect the problems to live. So look at the carbon on the edge of that valve, guys. How crazy is that? It is built up tall, but I don't think it's hitting, so that's something. A weirdly clean piston in 3 here. Very strange. Almost looks like those are valve shaped witness marks, doesn't it? Can't exactly tell. It's also the dome of the piston, so same thing again in 4. Not seeing any real issues. That corner has me wondering just a bit, but it doesn't look that bad, so I think we're just gonna call this good. So far, from what I can tell, I think we're getting lucky. If you've worked on more 2.0Ts than me, which is any number of them, actually, let me know what you think in the comments below from what we saw on the camera there. And let's jump on over to our compression test, because that's, you know, it's a little bit more scientific than just looking down in the hole. But from what I can tell, there's carbon buildup around the valves, and it's thick, and it doesn't look like any of it's been really crushed by the pistons. And it also doesn't look like there's little indentions. Usually the witness mark I would expect is a half moon, a crescent moon. But I don't see that on the pistons. I just see weird bare and carbon spots. So obviously she needs a lot of maintenance. It was probably never worked on in its life. I think it has 162,000 miles on the clock, so it did well. It lived right until they want you to crush the car, honestly. But we're gonna coax it back to life, or at least that's the plan. So let's move on to the compression test, like I said. 166,000 miles, 802, so really 167 if we're rounding at all. Are you guys excited? I'm sure excited to crank this thing and see what the compression says. Obviously, if it's out of time, the compression test is probably gonna be wrong, but we're hoping for about 130 on the gauge. It's all hooked up to cylinder 1 right now. Here we go. That was quite a bit of cranking, and we have no compression. That's very exciting. So cylinder 1, we had something like a little over 30, probably 40, 50, Cylinder 2, we have a little less than 30, about 25 right there. Let's see what we've got on the rest of this thing. It's kind of funny, I don't even have to blow the compression gauge down or anything. There's just no pressure to relieve, so we can just bump between the cylinders real quick, and I think it's just going to keep telling us that something is mechanically wrong. Obviously, we're expecting the timing, and I really do hope that's what's wrong here. Cylinder 3, another 25, so hey, at least it's consistent. Can't complain about that. Game faces, everybody. We're down to the last cylinder. I do love holding that Lamborghini key there. And we're gonna call that good. Ooh, look at that. The same reading as cylinder 1, a little over 30, 35-ish. What do you think? What's your opinion on those? They're obviously wet because it won't run. They're covered in gasoline. I mean, I also didn't unhook the fuel pump to do a compression test. Nobody actually does that. That's some nonsense, unless you're working on like a supercar. But it's bad. The prognosis is bad. 30 PSI on every cylinder, basically. All we can really do now is I took some pictures of what I saw on the bore scope, sent it to Johnny just to ask what he thinks, if the pistons show any damage, if the valves show any damage. I don't think they do, but he'll probably take a look at that and shoot me an answer here in a few. So really the only thing left to do is retime this thing, and maybe it'll come ripping back to life. But those are some crazy low compression numbers. I bet the oil rings are probably gone too. So really, I think you have to soak the cylinders with something to free up the rings on these engines specifically. So we'll revisit that after we get this thing in time and just keep right on going. Yeah, Marvel Mystery Oil.
Marvel Mystery Oil.
That would probably be the thing. All right, well, you just hang out here for a minute and we'll come back to you. I did see that CO2 cartridge back there. They were probably just innocent air rifle owners.
Yeah.
Are those sealed?
This one is.
Oh, brand new one.
That one.
Oh, cool. Well, we can use that in our air rifle, I guess.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Not that we have one.
And a bunch of flossers.
That is a lot of flossers.
I just spilled their bag, I'm sure. So that battery is ginormous.
It is a big battery. I'm not kidding.
It's a little...
Some $80 shirt tags back there too, I see that.
What do we
Oh, look at that. The build sheet says it's a CAEB engine right there. What's that?
LRG.
LRG. Well, interesting things to find in a car. You guys wouldn't expect anything less with the smells we talked about this car having. And also there's hangers back there from those clothes. You gotta pull at the top.
There's
a little handle.
They paid for them.
Ah, the amp.
No, that's the transcooler.
That's good old electronic transcooler.
Yeah.
They run the heat through the wires. I love it. All right.
Please explain.
What's that? Is there?
Oh, it's got a sub.
Oh yeah, it does have a sub, and I need to actually look at that.
It's an 8.
The sub's throwing a code.
It is an 8. Oh, of course it is.
So I need to take a look at that.
Sub note working. It's probably full of toothpicks.
Eric says this is his car. He just showed up and said, "Get away from my car."
I said, "Did you fix my car?"
I did mention that adult Mountain Dew.
I wasn't a basketball player.
Yeah, you have to yell Colby if you miss.
Colby. It's not in bad shape.
Yeah, this car is really not that bad, so I'm not upset about it. Let me go throw the trash away over here. Anyway.
It's already paying us back.
Did you find some money? Well, I've confirmed that this thing's out of time, at least as confirmed as we're gonna get today. And tomorrow, hopefully those parts are here and we're ready to rip the front cover off this engine and retime it. I gotta run over to Johnny's and get the tool, which should just take a couple of minutes. And after that, we should be home free. I can't wait to do this one because people just keep telling me it's the easiest timing job of all time. And there's no sweeter words that I could hear. So let's get after it. If you've worked on 2OTs, like I said, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and we'll get busy tearing the engine down in the next episode because, well, hopefully it's down and back together in one single episode. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop, watchjrgo.com for cool shirts, not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time.
Yes, as long as see if you're alive for the next
I'm
episode.
not going to take whatever that is.
That's 30 cents.
That's horny goat weed.
It looks like a horse pill for sure.
I'm throwing that away.
You didn't want a chance, huh? You wouldn't take pills out of an Audi? But would you take pills if they were out of
No.
What car would you take left over?
I was gonna say none, but I think the rest of that statement is you wouldn't download a car. You wouldn't steal a purse.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of this joint.